the end of the day, he's like any other kid. He ain't no different. He gets sick just like every other kid. He stubs his toe just like every other kid and poops in the bath and does all the other stuff just like everybody else. I don't see any difference. Do you?
He's stronger. Thomas's heart defect is known as double inlet left ventricle. It's where in a normal heart you have a left and a right ventricle, but his right ventricle did not fully form. Well, we found out that he had this heart defect actually at our 20-week ultrasound. They said, we think there may be something wrong with the heart. We don't see all of the parts of the heart that we should be on this. So that's when they referred us to our pediatric cardiologist to determine actually what the defect was.
He has functionally a single ventricle, and it's a good one. It's a left ventricle. It's a good ventricle. It's got good valves, but just one. That's not something that's cured per se. It's something which is, let's say, managed. And the first procedure was when he was just a few weeks old, right around last Christmas.
I think the hardest thing for me was seeing him right after his surgery for the first time. Seeing him there still medicated and asleep and with tubes coming out of him and not being able to hold him. That was definitely the hardest part for me.
He had a very busy first few months of life. First 6 months of life, phenomenally busy. The last 6 months, he's done spectacularly well, and there have been no interventions and no problems.
He had his 1-year appointment with Dr. Julie a few weeks ago, and the echocardiogram looked really good, and we feel hopeful that everything will take care of itself in time.
The Jayden DeLuca Foundation, Jeremy and I started it in 2008 after we lost our daughter, Jayden. She was 2.5 years old and she was born with congenital heart disease. Once she was gone, we decided that the best way for us to channel everything that we were feeling and everything that we were going through was to help other families and make sure that we could do anything that we possibly could to help other people going through the same thing.
I mean, it's a sad fact that congenital heart defects are the #1 defect in babies.
And you may know 5 kids that have a heart disease, but you won't know it by just looking at them. So the funding and the research just isn't out there because it doesn't seem like it's a problem, but it is.
Heart defects are the most common congenital because I think it is such a complex process which depends on so many things throughout the entire pregnancy.
The fact that Idaho has no pediatric cardiothoracic surgeon means that 1 in 100 babies is having to go outside the state for the care that they need.
It's so hard for these families. They just want to, they're already overwhelmed and they just want to be mom and they can't.
And these academic centers have lots of great ideas, but bottom line is, they gotta have support. And we've already seen foundation support produce some results.
There really is so much about what the Jayden DeLuca Foundation does that makes every penny that goes into it worth it.
64 cents per dollar goes back directly to the research, which is huge.
Pizza parties that they do for the heart families where everyone's able to come together and just have a good night and talk about what's going on with their families. Jayden DeLuca Foundation did the Santa's Toy Box, and those toys, for instance, went to families that were in the hospital for Christmas. And we were one of those families last year.
We've been able to team up with the Idaho Steelheads, and they do a Jayden DeLuca Foundation weekend. So we work with designers and we create custom jerseys that have, co-branded with the Jayden DeLuca Foundation and the Idaho Steelheads.
Then we go in and we get to bring one of our heart heroes down and meet the team before the game, talk to the team about what the foundation is and what they're out there skating for. And I think it means a lot to the players, right? To really understand why they're wearing the jerseys.
What the money's going to, right? It's going to research to, try to help kids have a better life and try to find.
Knowing what is going to happen with surgeries, or just even being able to spread awareness for expectant mothers to go in and get those early detection screenings. I mean, those are all reasons why I know we support the Jayden DeLuca Foundation.
It's nice to wish for these things. That's where it starts, maybe. But Jayden's family, through the foundation, has done a lot more than just wish for it. They've actually done a lot of work.
I was so excited because finally someone's doing the research part of it, and that's what's going to change our numbers.
They're doing great things for heart defects and for kids that really need help.
To see how passionate Jeremy and Carolee are directly with the researchers in Denver is astonishing.
It really is amazing how much just giving to the Jayden DeLuca Foundation can mean.